And welcome back to Messages for You by Marva Kens, and welcome back to my atmospheric cafeteria. I'm sorry for my reach. Again, we have another message from my personal deck. I was just sitting here with it this morning, having a talk with Spirit, and these were the first three cards out. The devil is no longer an influence. The devil is no longer an influence. I also don't hide my cards because we are all mature adults. And if an algorithm really wants to talk about boobs that don't look like boobs on a thing, we all have a problem, don't we? We're all in this Two of Cups era where no one is stupid. You know, we understand the difference between appropriate and not appropriate, you know. So I don't know why I had to say that. So if somebody has a little nit up their ass about it, yeah, there we are. This is interesting. This is a real interesting energy to come into this with. I'm realizing this is not me. Might be my feelings and emotions on it, but it's not necessarily me. This is the energy of this couple coming in. You know, this is a real. We're done with this crap. Like, you can like feel the magic in the air right now. But the devil is not going to be in your way any longer. I admit myself, I am on some kind of twin flame journey. I'm real not sure what it is, but I keep seeing a Claudia in my head. And the number's 22. Pay attention to the numbers that you're seeing. It's okay to write them down. Write down the numbers you're seeing. If you know you get a little whisper or something, write it down. So basically what happened is the three cards that came out were the Nine of Coins, the Two of Cups, and the Fool. Now, for me, when I'm interpreting this, because although I do read tarot traditionally, having the neurodivergence, having the neurodivergence I have means I don't always retain all of the information. So like I'll have to go over it a million, and if you're neurodivergent, you're going to understand what I'm saying. You've sometimes got to shove it on the shelf of your brain 5 times before that thing will stick. And then you need, you know, the instruction manuals and the tactile objects that you have to, you know, 3D print for your brain. Hello to all my tactile people. You all know what that means. Yeah. So basically for me, what it meant was I didn't know it was hot until I physically touched it. Didn't feel warm coming up to it, and it took a second for me to actually feel the pain. And once stuck my finger in a light socket, the same exact thing happened. As an adult, these are the things I realize. And, you know, a lot of, I guess I'm saying this because, you know, a lot of this self-reflection, I mean, I'm 53, so a lot of this self-reflection I've done as I've grown older to, you know, come to terms with not only who I was growing, but how I'm aging and who I'm growing into, which is one of the hardest things. You know, it's something that you need a lot of courage to do that, which makes sense why this lion is up here with the catechist to give healing strength. I believe this is the catechist. If I am wrong, please forgive me and let me know, inform me. I like to be educated. Do not be snarky in the comments. I can be snarky enough for all of us. I'm sorry. Oh, Spirit is here. Hello, Spirit. I have another message to come out today too, so but this I was not expecting necessarily to do, and here we are. But basically what we are coming to is the fact that we are at the end of the Lovers. If an offer has not been made, it will be made. And it will be your choice to accept. But because this is a divine twin flame union, and you already understand who that person is, you already understand that they are not a threat, that they are good. This is not a user. This is not an abuser. This is not a narcissist. This is not somebody that is love bombing you. This is somebody that you may have already met them. You may only be talking to them online. You may be getting the feeling that you're meeting this person. I just haven't met you yet. Michael Bublé. I just haven't met you yet. And it's that kind of thing where they're going through the grocery store and they're just missing each other. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those 3 things, okay? So keep that in mind. This is not someone you're pining after. This is not someone that you're trying to fix. This is a fixed individual. You know, you have fixed placements in your chart, and something is saying to me right now, I keep grabbing 2 lighters, and they keep being red. They were, each one were different before, but now they're both red. I don't smoke cigarettes, so you guys can figure that one out for yourselves. But I keep grabbing the 2, just 2. But what are these? These are 2 flames, 2 flames, twin flames. Okay, so twin flames. You've gone off the road of the lovers, okay? You've met in the middle of the road of the lovers. You've taken his flower, he's taken yours. You are now walking down the road of the lovers, and you are, excuse me, pardon me for my burp, now at the beginning of the road. Excuse me, pardon me. It's 2 burps. Significant, take it where it resonates. But this is telling me that 2 people are, these burps are telling me that 2 people are talking. If you just haven't met them yet, you're going to be this weekend. You're going to be tomorrow. You're going to be next week. And you know it because you can feel this energy of it come in, and it's absolutely anxiety inducing. And I want you to know that as hard as it is to do this, it's just as hard for me to say, but you got to sort of level yourself down a little bit. Now, I'm not saying completely get rid of that anxiety, that feeling, because you're not going to be able to, but whatever you can anchor down into the ground, do it. It doesn't have to be a lot. It just has to be enough that helps you keep your head on the ground, you know, because right now all of the energies are in flux. I can feel them within my own home, okay? There's a massive major ascension going on. There is a massive major moving of people, and I don't mean just by current events. I mean, it's like there's a mass migration. It feels like a mass migration is happening. But it's not necessarily a physical seeing of mass migration. Something is telling me this could also be people who are meeting online who are choosing to move to different cities. And you know, if you have a whole bunch of people that do something like that within like a 2, 3, 4, 5, 10-year period, that's a mass migration of people because they all left, you know, maybe where I live, if 20 people leave here to go to another state, that's a mass migration out of upstate New York. Not upstate New York, but my town where I live on Lake Ontario. That's a massive migration. My God, that's 20 apartments not filled. That's 20 places that have lost an employee. Okay, so you see what I'm saying? These people are fixed. Okay, they're at the head. And they are fixed, and they are kingdom spouses, and they are divine center units. I don't know what that means for someone, but that's just what I'm being told, and sometimes spirit tells me stuff in a different way before they can articulate it. Starseeds, whatever this is, that is exactly what this is. That is exactly what you are, and this is that time now whenever you are getting this. You have gone down the road of the lovers, and you are now at the 2 of Cups. And the 2 of Cups is not just the exchange of the vows, but this is, I'm exchanging my cup for your cup. I'm exchanging your cup for my cup. It's, we're putting our cups together to make a new cup that will runneth over with our love if we don't keep it balanced. So we've got to keep that balance. So you're going to have a cup, they're going to have a cup. And then when you see this coming down, this is that 3rd cup. That 3rd cup of union, okay? So when I put these together in this context, what this is telling me is that these 2 people are coming together to make a 3rd unit, okay? So you have this person, and then this is their marriage unit. It's like a whole other person. Okay? This is what you're coming into union to do. Okay? And you both are being represented by the Fool and the 9 of Coins. Because this man, this human, okay, to me they're being represented by man and woman. And then when they come in together, it is non-binary. Do not ask me why I am doing that. I do, actually, because for me, when I look at things in my neurodivergence, and let me know if anybody else sees it this way, I see man, woman, they, them. I've always seen that my whole entire life, but when it comes to union, whether it's a man and a man and a woman and a woman, or a man and a woman, there's always this third non-binary energy made that is just theirs. And when this is the correct union, and the union that is going to work for your lifetime, for your time path, you will understand that canister. I always call them like the Monsters Inc. canisters. Okay, you have a canister, they have a canister, you have a cup, they have a cup. Your cup comes together to make a third cup that is just the two of you. Red and blue come together to make purple. And in doing that, you give life to this union, life to this love. Because not only did that come up, but so did the lovers. I mean, look at the lovers and the devil. Yin and yang. They mirror each other. Angel and demon. And then the sun and the star and the ace of wands. Can we just know? So it's like the devil and the angel are representing the two different aspects. The nine of coins and the fool are representing the two different aspects. And please understand that this male, or whomever you are, your head is up. You're looking at her, you're seeing her, and she is not affected by who you are. She's not affected by your fame. She's not affected by your money. She's not affected by what you do or don't have. She's just looking at you, and you understand that. Because that's not normal. And that's why you are willing to give her your cup. You're willing to go into union. That's why you both are. Because when she looks at you, when she looks at you, she doesn't see your fame. She doesn't see your money. She doesn't see your job. She doesn't see what you have. She's only looking on the inside. And what you like is the fact that you are looking past this stick into somebody who is not asking you for anything. That's interesting. So it says to me that you guys just haven't necessarily met yet. I just haven't met you yet. And you are both very different, but the same. And this is definitely a divine wish. Because you guys are the Emperor and the Empress, and you bring balance. Nine of Cups, 10 of Cups. Hello, Dolly. And you see how all of this just covers up the devil, and the devil can just come out and go, hi, and everything else is like ignoring this. That's the point. The more you ignore that, and by ignoring it, it doesn't mean that you ignore the bad things that are going on in the world. It means you ignore your Northern Ireland. You're ignoring the bad behavior that wants to be recognized. Because, you know, sometimes people do stuff on purpose to be seen, and that's not good. So this is trying to do that, but it's just going to get shoved under because nobody's going to accept that. It's not that you're going to forget, because this is probably something in the past that hurt you, that you had to grow from. It's not that we forget. It's not that it's not a little shadow. It's not that we don't work on those parts and go and do the therapy for it to help heal our pathway in this life, so we're not bringing it to other lives. It's not that we don't heal. It's that no matter how much we heal, that scar is still going to be there. No matter how much aloe vera we put on it, no matter how much vitamin E oil we put on it, no matter how much whole milk Greek yogurt I eat, my scars are still going to be there. And that's okay. You know, it's when you can look at them and go, yeah, I know you're there, but I don't have to live in you. Are you going to crop up every once in a while because I'm 53 and growing older and I can see things from a different perspective? And, you know, we live in a time where people are like, yeah, you know, people shouldn't be those kinds of assholes. Yeah. But I don't have to live in it. And that's what this says. This says you don't have to live in it anymore because you are about to exchange cups with an amazing human being. This person is going to relieve your burdens. They're going to heal your feminine. And you are going to ride into victory with them. And they are going to be your comfort and your mainstay. They're going to be your home when you don't think you have a home. You just have to think of them in your home. I'm being shown the end of Practical Magic where he realizes that he loves her. And that real cathartic experience. Oh yeah, we're taking you away too. Yeah. And God is bringing this indirectly to take you out of your slumber. Because, you know, you've worked on those swords. Yeah, because if you look underneath the 4, there's the sword of God. There's the 1 sword. So Yui, living on Lake Ontario. I do miss the Canadian Broadcasting Channel. We used to get it here back in the 90s. I used to get to watch curling. I love curling. Don't ask. I don't know. I just really love it. I don't know. I haven't watched it in so long, but every once in a while I get like a little whatever and I like get lost in it. So let's see what else. Is there anything else? So yeah. This is coming in soon. For some of you by this weekend. For some of you by the middle of November. Something about November 15th. So maybe 15 is peeking out to people. Maybe a 6, 1, 5, 5, 6, 1, 5, 6, 6, 5, 1. Let's see, 1, 5, 6, 6, 5, 1, 5, 1, 6, 6, 1, 5, 1, 6, 5. Maybe those numbers are meaning something to you. I'm setting my intentions out now for this to reach those that need confirmation. Get out of your thesaurus and learn other words. So some of you need to start to, some of you who might be listening to this, who think that you're on a twin flame journey, or who may be realizing that you may not be quite on the right one. One of the issues may be that you may need to start restructuring your words. And how you're talking to yourself, because that will help you bring in your twin flame, okay? Or in your soulmate, or whomever it is. Yeah, the universe doesn't care about what you don't want to believe in, so that goes along with that too. And I also feel like this is also being said for somebody who's sitting there going, no, my twin flame still needs me to fix him. No, he doesn't. She doesn't. They do not need you to fix them. You are the only one that is supposed to fix you. And when you meet your twin flame, you're not perfectly fixed. No one is going to be perfectly fixed. You're always going to be wabi-sabi. But you are on some level of healing where you can continue to heal without having to drain someone else. You know, when you're upset and you're crying and they hug you, you're just able to lay there and cry a little bit and you know, they're just hugging you to hug you because they know you need a hug, not because, you know, you're dumping your emotions on them. You know, you've learned how to control these things. Your age looks good on you. You look good in your age. Jesus Christ. I'm not going to say here that is one, yeah, for me. Jesus started a political movement, not a religious movement. So for me, I'm going to take that as, you know, At some point, you tipped your own tables in life and decided, I need to change, I need to turn everything, and the edge of evolution is messy. That's exactly what that meant. At some point, you had to be like Jesus and tip the tables and go, I can't do this anymore. This is wrong, and I have to do what's right, because every time I do what's wrong, it eats at me. So the more you're doing right by yourself, by your intuition, by the things that you know are good and to do, that are correct, when you look at society as a whole and you look at what people do who are kind, you start to realize what's going on. And that edge of evolution is messy and it's scary. Remember, nobody who has ever tried to make you feel small has possessed a life or heart that you admire. Okay? And that's one of those things that you have to find out. Now, something is also saying, if you're still listening to this and you thought you were with a twin flame and now you're realizing you're not, you might be with that twin flame who is supposed to open you up and make you realize that this is not what I want in life. This is that person, that catalyst that makes you go, I don't want this in life. I need better. I don't want a person like this. And that twin flame sets you on the journey of self-exploration, which then makes you choose not to date, makes you choose not to go out and have one-night stands, makes you choose that when you go to the bar, you don't give people your phone number and you let people know that they're not getting anything from you. You start to stick up internally for yourself. And it's such an important place to be, because the moment that you start to internally stick up for yourself, that's when that radar goes off and your twin flame that has been doing the exact same thing comes in. They start to circle the globe. They start to find you. They make changes in their life that, maybe like myself, they relearned how to eat. They started a different journey. They started to lose a little weight. Then somebody comes in and then you start to work on these things together. And this is where your twin flame journey goes, There is no peace, only civility. Life is too short to fight socks on and fight socks off. That's what my grandpa always said. You gotta learn how to be civil, and you can't fight everything. Sometimes you've got to learn that pair of socks is never going to fit. That kind of man, that kind of woman, that kind of they, them, that kind of human is not going to work for me, and that is an okay thing to realize, because once you realize, that's where you can step back and internally go, I have to heal myself, because otherwise I'm going to find loser after loser after loser, and I'm tired of it. You have to be tired. You have to be tired of internally struggling with your own personal bullshit, fucking bullshit, I was told to say for someone, in order to step back and realize I need to heal. Because I don't like what I'm doing. You have to be at a point where you have to say, I don't like what I'm doing. If somebody was doing this to me, I'd leave me. You know what I'm saying? And when you get to that point, that's like your end of the barrel. That's like your dead end. You're just like, okay, it's either I go on into stupid and insanity like I've watched people do for years, or I step back and go, okay, I don't want to do this anymore. And every time it's brought up, I just go, I'm not going to do that. And I just go a different path. And every time you go that different path, something new opens up for you. Something good opens up for you. A new learning experience opens up for you. And the more you're willing to go forward and learn from these experiences and take responsibility for you and your life and everything you're doing now and in the past, that is growth, not only on your life path, but also on your destination towards your twin flame. And yes, there are souls who choose to go on these journeys, but not have a twin flame or be in long-lasting relationships. You, the collective I'm talking to, you are not those people. You are somebody who is supposed to be on this road to better yourself, because when you better yourself, the rest of humanity feels your energy of bettering yourself, and one person, someplace in the middle of nowhere, laying on the street, high as a kite on heroin, sits there, and all of a sudden, your energy comes across them and they go, I don't think I can do this anymore. This is not okay. And yeah, it's not instant. They're not going to stop right then, but that because you made that choice, I'm being told, your energy is going to glide across the person that needs to feel your energy, and they're going to go, I got to really stop this, and they're going to learn how to stop. They're going to realize how to stop. They're going to be given the bravery that your energy created, and they're going to stop doing whatever that bad thing is that they need to stop doing. You can't direct this towards anyone. It's just something natural that is emitted from you that gives other people hope and courage. It could be that hope and courage for a woman to finally, or even a man to stand up and go, I'm just going to take my kids and move to 6 states away. I feel a bracelet on my hand, but I don't have a bracelet. It feels like a gold bracelet. It would be unusual for me to have one on my right hand. So it's like a chain link, but not like a ugly chain link, but like a longer chain link like that, so yeah, that is where this is leading. If you have met your twin flame or are about to, because you just haven't met them yet. And if you are listening to this, realizing this person I have to fix, or this relationship I've tried to dedicate my life to isn't working, and I have to, I thought this was a twin flame, but it's not the twin flame that brings me union, peace, happiness, and comfort. It's the twin flame that makes me step back, and be single for 5 years. And I know for a lot of you, that thought of being single for that long is daunting. That thought of not being able to have another human in your life. It's not that you can't, it's that you have to make that choice not to. Because every time you make that choice to have another person in your bed, another person in your life, another boyfriend, you're not healing yourself. You're trauma dumping all over them. And then eventually you get tired of their shit because they're still the same guy that you keep bringing in, because you're always looking for somebody to cure you, to help you, to fix you. And at the end of the day, fixing you means staying single. Look at that. Staying single, staying one flamed, staying a single flame for at least a year, 2 years, until you get to a point where you feel good having your own company. And that's the fucked up part of it, okay? You will literally sit there and go, I feel really good by myself. I don't think I want anybody in my life. I'm good with this. This feels good. I can do everything I want to. I can go out to the bar with my friends. I answer to no one. And you feel good, and you learn who you are. And it's like I always say, that movie Runaway Bride. You learn what kind of scrambled eggs that you like. Okay? You learn whatever kind of eggs you like. You learn what you like. And the moment that you learn what you like, that's when the person who's supposed to come in comes in. Because at some point, all of a sudden you realize, I would love someone to come in and share my life with me. And it's scary, the thought of sharing your life with someone new, getting used to the things that they like, and, maybe not being always able to bring certain things forward in your own life. I mean, let's face it, I rank my burps. I may not be able to do that in my next relationship. Or maybe he'll think it's cute and funny. Or maybe it'll be just something he's like, well, you know what? Can't stop her. Or maybe he'll look at me and go, yeah, I knew somebody who used to do that and it really grosses me out. Could you just not? And I'll be like, yep, that's fair. And when someone says that to you, that's fair, because you're considering their feelings and emotions. Because at some point you're going to have something like that they need to consider, because you just can't tolerate and deal with it because it triggers you. That's what having a real relationship is. It's a real give and take. Yes, you like this, but I really hate broccoli and cauliflower and I really can't stand it, so you just don't bring it into your life and you eat it when you're out. Does that mean that you can't bring a little bit in? As long as he's not crying about how it stinks and smells and whatnot, and then I got pissed off and just stopped bringing it in the house. At the end of the day, though, as much as I eat it now and I missed it then, it wasn't a big enough thing for me to keep in my life. Honestly, I could eat it out when I wanted to. If I really wanted to bring it home, I could. And of course, I go through funny phases with food, so this was also a food that at the time I went through a funny phase with. So, and now I'm back into eating broccoli again. And it is what it is, right? So your person will come in and they will just blow the fact away that they're okay with these things, and you'll blow yourself away that, when they say, my God, can you just not do that because this happened to me and da 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 da, or it really freaks me out or whatever. And you'll be like, yeah, okay. And you'll be shocked at how willing you are to consider someone else's feelings and emotions. And in a real twin flame relationship, that's what you're doing. No one is commanding the other person. Everybody is equally coming in and talking. They're holding hands. They can fly freely. They can be who they want to be, but they come back to their team unit and they talk. I mean, that's what it is. So I do hope that this has helped you, and as I always say, good night, God bless you. We love you. And be good, behave, be happy, and be yourself. Take care. Take care, loves.